Al Pacino.
The dream now come no closer by itself.
Charlie, you're a famous legend.
Sean Penn.
I'm in trouble. You are the only person on earth that I can trust.
You don't get reformed.
Be over, man. You end the history books. That's what you are, man.
It catches up to you.
Carlito's Way.
I know how this dream ends, Charlie.
BBC1 next Friday at 10.
The street is watching all the time.
Now on BBC One, before Clint Eastwood, the writer P.D. James selects a favourite film sequence.
Well, I've chosen a Western, John Ford directing Stagecoach. It was released in 1939 by United Artists. And the moment I've chosen is a moment of huge excitement in it. What we have is a group of ill-assorted people travelling from one frontier town to another in a period, I think, shortly after the Civil War. They are travelling through Indian country. The journey itself, in a way, is sort of symbolic. And although the characters are stock characters, the good time girl with a heart of gold, the gentleman gambler, the bank manager escaping with the money, whatever it is he's stolen from the bank, the drunken doctor, the meek little whiskey salesman with his wares. There's quite considerable subtlety in the characterization, largely, I think, because the playing is so good. Anyway, after they've seen in the distance the campfires of the Apache Indians, the coach takes the high road. It's very cold, it's very awful. But the driver thinks that the Indians won't like it up there, so they'll be safer. But now they've come down, and everyone is feeling relaxed. Everyone is feeling, at last, we're safe. And then, zing, through the open window of the coach comes the Indian arrow into the chest of the little whiskey salesman. It's a moment we see, I think, not only in film very often, but of course also in crime fiction and in popular fiction. The moment when everyone has relaxed, everyone feels the danger is over, everyone feels in a self-congratulatory mood and nothing else to worry about, and then disaster. When we see it now, we, to an extent, I think, see cliches. But they weren't cliches in 1939 when this film was released. The first is, of course, when the shafts break, and we have our hero, of course, young John Wayne, leaping from horseback to control these animals and get the coach on its way. And the second is when the ammunition fails. We all know that, don't we? You know, they're shooting out of the windows of the Indians. Click, 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 and horror, horror, no more bullets. But there is one bullet, and Hatfield, he's the gentleman gambler who has offered his protection to Mrs. Mallory, and he opens the revolver and he finds that in the chambers he has one bullet left. Now that bullet, of course, is for Mrs. Mallory, to save her from a fate worse than death. We have that wonderful moment in the film when the Indians are getting closer and closer and closer, and all seems totally lost. And then we have that superb additional cliche when, you know, the cavalry arrive just in time. It is interesting. It's so much of its time, you see, looking again at it now. It's totally without any political correctness. We are not required to wonder whether Geronimo may have some reason for being so extremely disagreeable to white people and wishing to kill them and rape their women or whatever he was going to do with Mrs. Mallory. We're not required to consider that. I mean, it's them and us. We are in that stagecoach, and they are the Indians, and they're after our scalps. And as they literally bite the dust, you know, we almost rejoice every time a bullet goes home. And again, it's satisfying because there's such a clear division between the nice and the nasty, the good and the bad. The good act well and bravely, and the bad act badly and in a cowardly way, and at the end the good prosper, and the others end extremely badly. And of course the good ending well and the bad ending badly, as Oscar Wilde said, is what we mean by fiction. It's also what we mean, I think, by good popular films.
you shut up, Gateman! I've got a patient here! Here, Gateman! Let me out of here! I can't get her! Will you shut up? Ray Silver.
Colin Firth.
I will go to any lengths to succeed.
Serena Scott Thomas.
With or without me?
Albert Finney.
You'll all live to regret it.
And Brian Dennehy.
Nostromo!
That man is exceptional. You should use it.
Nostromo!
Begins tomorrow at 9:30 on BBC2.
She was evil.
Damn you! Damn you! You were supposed to watch her.
Evil and out of control.
What does she want?
Your child, Mrs. Cowan. Christina has been chosen.
Midnight's Child. Tomorrow, 9:15 on BBC1.
It's a family affair now on BBC1. As well as producing, directing and starring, Clint Eastwood is joined by his son Kyle for Honkytonk Man.